12 minutes left. God spoke about you. Everyone broke down in. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if this message has found you right now, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. Stay with me for a moment, breathe, and let these words settle, because what is unfolding is not fear, it is timing, not pressure, but presence, not coincidence, but calling. Listen to this. The phrase, 12 minutes left, is not about panic or endings. It is about a window of awareness opening while your spirit is quiet enough to hear. God is not counting down your life, God is counting down distraction. God is inviting you into a moment where truth lands gently but firmly, the kind of truth that softens hardened places and brings tears not from pain, but from recognition. Don't scroll. This message is for you because you have been carrying a weight that no one sees, a quiet responsibility to hold it together, to keep going, to stay kind even when kindness costs you. Listen to this. God spoke about your heart, the way it keeps choosing love, even after disappointment, the way it hopes carefully now, not recklessly, but sincerely. When God spoke about you, people broke down because they recognized the courage it takes to remain open in a world that rewards indifference. Your heart needs this right now because you've been wondering if your effort mattered, if your patience was seen, if your tears were wasted. Don't scroll. They were not wasted. They were seeds. Listen to this. You are in the middle of a spiritual awakening, and awakenings don't arrive with fireworks, they arrive with restlessness, with clarity that disrupts comfort, with a sudden inability to ignore what you once tolerated. That's why things that used to feel normal now feel heavy. That's why certain conversations drain you. That's why you've been craving peace more than excitement. Your heart needs this right now because awakening is not confusion, it is alignment beginning. Don't scroll. Angel numbers have been appearing around you like quiet confirmations. 1111 when you doubt your direction and alignment whispers back. 222 when balance asks you to stop overgiving and start receiving. 333 when emotion rises asking to be expressed instead of buried. 44 when protection surrounds you even when you feel unsure. Listen to this. These signs are not meant to trap you in waiting, they are meant to steady you while you choose honestly. This message is for you because God knows you've been standing at a crossroads that looks ordinary on the outside but feels enormous on the inside. Don't scroll. You've been deciding whether to keep enduring something familiar or to step into something truer. Endurance has been mistaken for faith, but faith is not silent suffering, faith is trusting God enough to choose truth even when it's uncomfortable. Listen to this. God spoke about your love, the way you stay, the way you see potential, the way you give the benefit of the doubt, and people broke down because they recognized themselves in your quiet strength. But hear this clearly now, love aligned with God does not ask you to disappear to be chosen. Your heart needs this right now because you've been confusing loyalty with self-erasure. Don't scroll. There is a soulmate theme tied into this message, not the fantasy kind, but the grounded, peaceful kind that meets you where you are becoming. Soulmate love does not destabilize your nervous system, it calms it. It does not keep you guessing, it reassures. It does not require you to prove your worth, it recognizes it. Listen to this. God is not removing love from your life, God is refining it. What is meant for you will arrive without chaos, without fear, without you shrinking. Your heart needs this right now because you've been romanticizing intensity instead of honoring peace. Don't scroll. You may have felt lately like time is moving strangely, moments stretching, pauses appearing, delays that feel inconvenient. Listen to this. Delays are not denials, they are protection. God slows things down when awareness is needed before momentum returns. This is one of those moments. These 12 minutes are not about rushing, they are about presence. About choosing awareness before the next chapter opens. Your heart needs this right now because you are early enough to choose gently instead of learning harshly. Don't scroll. God spoke about your resilience, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that keeps showing up, keeps loving, keeps hoping carefully. And people broke down because resilience that costs the heart deserves recognition. Listen to this. You were never meant to carry everything alone. Faith is not isolation, faith is trust in divine support. The universe has been sending confirmations lately, songs that feel too specific, memories that surface without warning, moments that make you pause and feel seen. These are not distractions, they are reminders. Your heart needs this right now because you've been waiting for certainty before courage, when courage is what invites certainty in. Don't scroll. There is something God wants you to release in this moment, not a person necessarily, not a dream necessarily, but a belief that you must suffer to be worthy of love or blessing. Listen to this. Suffering is not a requirement. Growth is. And you have been growing, even when it hurt. God spoke about your growth, the way you learned boundaries, the way you learned discernment, the way you learned to pause instead of chase. And people broke down because growth that is quiet is often misunderstood. Your heart needs this right now because you've been doubting your own progress. Don't scroll. The countdown energy you feel is not about loss, it's about readiness. A chapter is preparing to open, and it requires you to be present, not distracted, honest, not numb. Listen to this. God is not asking you to be perfect, God is asking you to be awake. Awake to what drains you. Awake to what nourishes you. Awake to the difference between love that costs you peace and love that brings you home to yourself. Your heart needs this right now because awareness is the greatest protection. Don't scroll. If you've been feeling emotional reading this, that's not weakness, that's recognition. Recognition that you are seen. Recognition that your story matters. Recognition that your waiting was not ignored. Listen to this. God spoke about your future, not in specifics, not in dates, but in qualities. Steadiness, mutuality, peace, clarity. And people broke down because they could feel the relief in that future. Your heart needs this right now because hope has been quiet lately, and quiet hope still counts. Don't scroll. This message is also an invitation. An invitation to breathe differently, to choose differently, to stop explaining your intuition away. Listen to this. When God speaks, it is not to control you, it is to remind you who you are. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are exactly where awareness can change everything. Your heart needs this right now because the next step does not require force, it requires trust. Don't scroll. Let these words settle. Let the urgency soften into clarity. These 12 minutes are not about pressure, they are about presence. About listening before noise returns. About choosing peace before patterns repeat. God spoke about you because you are ready to be seen without performing, loved without striving, and guided without fear. Listen to this. What comes next will not break you, it will recognize you. And that recognition is already beginning. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you stayed after the first part, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. This second part is where the weight you've been carrying begins to make sense, where God's voice feels closer than fear, and where the countdown energy stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like protection. Listen to this. You have been living in between moments for a while now, not fully in the past, not fully in the future, holding yourself together while waiting for clarity to arrive from somewhere outside of you. And God has seen that waiting. God has seen how you kept going even when answers didn't come, how you smiled in rooms where your heart felt tired, how you chose kindness when bitterness would have been easier. Don't scroll. This message is for you because you've been wondering if anyone noticed the quiet strength it took to survive without becoming hard. Listen to this. God spoke about you not because you are perfect, but because you are faithful in ways that don't get applause. Faithful to your values. Faithful to love. Faithful to hope, even when hope felt fragile. And when God spoke about that, hearts broke open because they recognized themselves in your endurance. Your heart needs this right now because you've been doubting whether endurance was worth it. Don't scroll. The 12 minutes left energy is not about something ending, it's about something finally being seen. Seen by you. Seen by heaven. Seen in truth. Listen to this. You are in the middle of a spiritual awakening that is shifting how you see love, success, and purpose. Awakening doesn't always feel spiritual, sometimes it feels like dissatisfaction with things that once satisfied you. That restlessness you feel is not ingratitude, it is alignment knocking. Your heart needs this right now because you've been judging yourself for wanting more peace, more honesty, more depth. Don't scroll. God is not offended by your desire for peace. God planted it in you. Angel numbers have been appearing again and again as reassurance, not to confuse you, but to anchor you. 1111 when you question whether you're still on the right path, reminding you that alignment doesn't always feel comfortable at first. 222 when you feel torn between staying where you are and stepping into something unknown, reminding you that balance requires adjustment, not sacrifice of self. 33 when emotions rise unexpectedly, reminding you that emotional honesty is not weakness, it's healing. 44 when you feel exhausted but held, reminding you that protection surrounds you even when you don't understand the timing. Listen to this. These signs are not coincidences, they are confirmations that you are not walking this season alone. Your heart needs this right now because loneliness has been one of your quiet fears. Don't scroll. God spoke about your love. The way you give it freely, the way you stay present, the way you believe in people even when they're still figuring themselves out. But hear this carefully now, love aligned with God does not require you to abandon yourself. Love aligned with God brings peace to your nervous system, not constant anxiety. Listen to this. If a connection in your life feels heavy, confusing, or draining, it doesn't mean you failed at love. It means love is asking to be expressed differently now. Your heart needs this right now because you've been holding on out of loyalty instead of alignment. Don't scroll. This message is also about timing. God has been slowing things down around you, delays, pauses, unanswered messages, moments where plans didn't move forward, not to punish you, but to protect you. Listen to this. Movement without clarity creates regret. Stillness with awareness creates wisdom. These 12 minutes are about stillness, not inactivity, but presence. Presence with your feelings. Presence with your intuition. Presence with God's voice that doesn't shout, but settles. Your heart needs this right now because you've been rushing yourself internally even when life slowed you down externally. Don't scroll. God spoke about your patience, but God also spoke about your worth. Worth that does not need to be proven by suffering. Worth that does not require you to stay where you are misunderstood. Worth that does not diminish because you choose yourself. Listen to this. People broke down when God spoke about you because they felt the relief of knowing that quiet goodness is not invisible to heaven. Your heart needs this right now because you've been invisible to yourself in some ways, putting your needs last, telling yourself you'll rest later, you'll heal later, you'll speak later. Don't scroll. Later has arrived. There is a soulmate-level theme tied into this message, and it's important you hear it without fantasy. Soulmate love is not about intensity alone, it's about mutual presence, shared effort, and emotional safety. If you've been waiting for someone to choose you clearly, this message is not here to shame you, it's here to remind you that clarity is a requirement, not a luxury. Listen to this. God is not removing love from your life, God is aligning it. What is meant for you will not leave you guessing about your value. Your heart needs this right now because you've been normalizing uncertainty. Don't scroll. The universe has been speaking in layers, through conversations that linger, through memories that resurface, through moments that make you pause mid-scroll and feel something stir. These are not distractions. They are invitations to wake up gently. Listen to this. Awakening doesn't mean your life changes overnight. It means your perception does. And perception changes everything. Your heart needs this right now because you've been asking for answers when what you needed first was awareness. Don't scroll. God spoke about your future, not in specifics that would limit you, but in qualities that will guide you, peace instead of chaos, clarity instead of confusion, mutuality instead of chasing, rest instead of burnout. Listen to this. Those qualities are becoming your compass now. And when you use them, you will notice your life responding differently. Your heart needs this right now because you've been afraid to trust yourself fully. Don't scroll. There is also forgiveness woven into this message, forgiveness for yourself. Forgiveness for staying too long. Forgiveness for leaving too early. Forgiveness for not knowing then what you know now. Listen to this. Growth requires compassion for past versions of yourself. God does not hold your past against you. God uses it to prepare you. Your heart needs this right now because self-judgment has been louder than self-compassion. Don't scroll. This second part is not asking you to make a dramatic decision today. It's asking you to listen differently. To notice where your body tightens. To notice where your energy drops. To notice where peace shows up quietly. Listen to this. Peace is God's signature. Confusion is not. Your heart needs this right now because you've been mistaking emotional highs and lows for meaning. Meaning feels steady. Don't scroll. If this message feels like it's peeling something back inside you, that's because it is. Not to expose you, but to free you. God spoke about you because you are ready to be seen without performing, loved without striving, guided without fear. Listen to this. These minutes are not ticking away, they are opening up. Opening up space for you to choose alignment before repetition sets in. Your heart needs this right now because repetition without awareness becomes suffering, and suffering was never meant to be your teacher forever. Don't scroll. As you sit with this, notice what keeps coming to mind, the same thought, the same person, the same decision. That repetition is focus. Focus is direction. Direction is grace. Listen to this. God is not far from you in this moment. God is near, steady, patient, and inviting you into peace that doesn't require you to disappear. Your heart needs this right now because the next chapter will ask you to show up whole, not exhausted. Don't scroll. Stay present. Let this part settle. What comes next will not demand urgency, it will offer clarity. And clarity will feel like relief. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you are still here right now, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. This third part is where the weight you've been carrying finally finds language, where God's voice feels less like a mystery and more like recognition, and where the urgency you sense turns into a calm knowing that you were never behind, only being prepared. Listen to this. You have been walking through a season where everything felt slightly out of rhythm. Not wrong enough to collapse, not right enough to feel peaceful, and that in-between space has been draining you more than you admit. You kept asking yourself why motivation faded, why excitement dulled, why certain relationships or dreams no longer fit the way they once did. Don't scroll. This message is for you because God saw you trying to adjust yourself to things that were meant to adjust to you. You've been faithful in silence, patient in uncertainty, kind even when kindness cost you energy you didn't have. Listen to this. God spoke about you because heaven notices quiet obedience, not just loud victories. People broke down when God spoke about you because your story reflects so many hearts that learned to survive without becoming bitter. Your heart needs this right now because you've been wondering if survival was all there was. Don't scroll. Survival was the beginning, not the destination. God has been reshaping your inner world slowly, intentionally, teaching you discernment where you once relied only on hope. Discernment is not distrust, it is wisdom earned through experience. Listen to this. You're noticing now how your body reacts before your mind can explain, the tightness, the fatigue, the heaviness around certain people or decisions. That's not anxiety, that's alignment speaking. Your heart needs this right now because alignment feels unfamiliar after years of pushing through discomfort and calling it strength. Don't scroll. Strength is not ignoring your limits, strength is honoring them. God never designed you to be endlessly resilient without rest, endlessly patient without reciprocity, endlessly loving without being loved back in truth. Listen to this. This is part of your spiritual awakening. The part where your tolerance for imbalance fades and your desire for peace becomes non-negotiable. Awakening doesn't make life louder, it makes it clearer. And clarity can feel uncomfortable before it feels freeing. Your heart needs this right now because clarity has been knocking gently, and you've been hesitating to answer because it might change things. Don't scroll. Change is not the enemy, misalignment is. Angel numbers have been appearing around you like quiet confirmations, not to rush you, but to reassure you. 1111 showing up when you doubt your path, reminding you that alignment often feels lonely before it feels right. 222 appearing when you're torn between staying comfortable and choosing balance, reminding you that balance does not come from self-sacrifice alone. 333 appearing when emotions surface unexpectedly, reminding you that expression is part of healing, not a step backward. 44 appearing when you feel tired but supported, reminding you that protection is active even when answers are delayed. Listen to this. These signs are not asking you to wait forever, they are asking you to trust yourself now. Your heart needs this right now because trust in yourself has been overshadowed by fear of making the wrong choice. Don't scroll. God spoke about your love. Not the kind that chases attention, but the kind that shows up consistently, believes in people, and stays present even when things are unclear. That love is powerful, but power without boundaries becomes self-loss. Listen to this. God is not asking you to love less, God is asking you to love wiser. Soulmate-level love is part of your path, but soulmate love is not chaos, not confusion, not constant waiting. It is mutual presence, shared effort, and emotional safety. Your heart needs this right now because you've been romanticizing intensity instead of honoring peace. Don't scroll. Peace may feel boring if you're used to emotional highs and lows, but peace is where healing happens. God spoke about your patience, but God also spoke about your worth. Worth that does not increase because you suffer. Worth that does not disappear because you choose yourself. Worth that remains even when you walk away from what no longer aligns. Listen to this. People broke down when God spoke about you because they recognized how often goodness goes unseen in a world that celebrates noise. Your heart needs this right now because you've been measuring yourself by outcomes instead of integrity. Don't scroll. Integrity is staying true to what your spirit knows even when it's inconvenient. Integrity is listening to the quiet nudge instead of waiting for a breakdown to force change. Integrity is choosing alignment before exhaustion teaches the lesson. Listen to this. The 12 minutes left feeling is not about something ending abruptly, it's about awareness arriving before repetition sets in again. God does not warn to threaten, God warns to spare. Your heart needs this right now because you've already learned enough the hard way. Don't scroll. There is forgiveness woven into this message. Forgiveness for the versions of you that didn't know better, that stayed too long, that tried too hard, that loved too deeply in spaces that couldn't hold that love. Listen to this. God does not shame growth, God celebrates it. You are not late to understanding, you are right on time for integration. Integration is when lessons stop hurting and start guiding. Your heart needs this right now because guidance feels safer than pain. Don't scroll. You may notice that your desires are changing. You want steadiness more than excitement, clarity more than chemistry, peace more than proof. That's not settling, that's maturing. God is not shrinking your dreams, God is refining them so they no longer require you to abandon yourself. Listen to this. Refined dreams feel calmer because they are rooted in truth, not fantasy. Your heart needs this right now because calm has been mistaken for stagnation, when it is actually alignment settling in. Don't scroll. This message is also about timing in love and life. God has been slowing things down so you can hear what speed would have drowned out. Delays are not denials, they are discernment. You are being invited to pause before committing further to paths that don't nourish you. Listen to this. Pausing does not mean failing, it means listening. And listening is the foundation of faith. Your heart needs this right now because faith is not blind endurance, it is trust guided by awareness. Don't scroll. God spoke about your future not in dates or details, but in qualities that will shape it: mutuality, clarity, rest, emotional safety, and joy that does not come with anxiety attached. These qualities are becoming your compass now. When something offers them, your body will relax. When something doesn't, your body will resist. Listen to this. Your body is not betraying you, it is protecting you. Your heart needs this right now because you've been ignoring your body's wisdom to keep others comfortable. Don't scroll. There is also a release happening, release of urgency, release of proving, release of chasing outcomes that require you to shrink. Release does not mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. And clinging is what has been exhausting you. Listen to this. God is not asking you to let go of love, God is asking you to let go of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of missing out. Fear of making the wrong move. Your heart needs this right now because fear has been quietly guiding your decisions, and faith is ready to take the lead again. Don't scroll. If this message feels emotional, grounding, and unsettling in a gentle way, that's because truth does that. Truth doesn't shout, it settles. And what is settling in you now is readiness. Readiness to choose peace without guilt. Readiness to trust yourself without constant reassurance. Readiness to believe that love aligned with God will not require suffering as proof. Listen to this. These minutes are not slipping away, they are opening space. Space for you to breathe differently. Choose differently. Live differently. Your heart needs this right now because the next chapter will not ask you to survive, it will ask you to participate fully. Don't scroll. Stay present. Let this part integrate. The recognition you feel is not accidental, it is confirmation. God spoke about you because you are ready to be seen clearly, loved honestly, and guided gently into what comes next. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you are still here, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. This fourth part is where everything you've been sensing begins to settle into understanding, where God's voice stops feeling distant and starts feeling personal, steady, and unmistakably close. Listen to this. You have not been imagining the shifts inside you. You have not been too sensitive. You have not been losing faith. What you've been experiencing is refinement. God has been gently stripping away what no longer fits the person you are becoming, and that process can feel uncomfortable because it asks you to let go of identities, roles, and attachments that once kept you safe. Don't scroll. Stay here. You've been walking through a quiet dismantling, not of your life, but of illusions. Illusions that you had to overextend to be loved. Illusions that waiting longer would eventually change someone. Illusions that your needs were too much or inconvenient. Listen to this. God never designed you to earn love through endurance. Your heart needs this right now because you've been measuring your worth by how much you can tolerate, instead of how deeply you can honor yourself. Don't scroll. This is the part where heaven wants you to understand why things felt delayed, why answers didn't come when you begged for them, why certain doors stayed closed no matter how hard you pushed. It wasn't punishment. It was protection. God was not withholding, God was preparing. Preparing you to receive without fear. Preparing you to choose without guilt. Preparing you to recognize peace when it arrives quietly instead of dramatically. Listen to this. You are being guided out of survival mode and into discernment mode. Survival mode says, just get through it. Discernment mode says, does this align with who I am becoming? Your heart needs this right now because discernment has been activating inside you, and you've been second-guessing it instead of trusting it. Don't scroll. Angel numbers have not been random decorations in your life, they've been checkpoints. 11. 11 appearing when you felt lost, reminding you that alignment often feels lonely before it feels right. 222 appearing when you felt torn, reminding you that balance does not come from sacrificing yourself. 333 appearing when emotions surfaced unexpectedly, reminding you that expression is not weakness. 444 appearing when you felt exhausted but held, reminding you that protection surrounds you even when clarity is delayed. Listen to this. These signs were not asking you to wait endlessly. They were asking you to wake up gently. Your heart needs this right now because you've been waiting for certainty to arrive before you trust yourself, when trust is what opens the door to certainty. Don't scroll. God spoke about your love, the way you give it freely, the way you stay present, the way you believe in people even when they haven't learned how to meet you fully. That love is sacred, but it was never meant to cost you peace. Listen to this. Soulmate-level love is part of your destiny, but soulmate love does not arrive with constant confusion, anxiety, or emotional imbalance. It arrives when both souls are ready to hold each other without fear. Your heart needs this right now because you've been romanticizing intensity instead of honoring safety. Don't scroll. Safety does not mean boring. Safety means your nervous system can rest. Safety means you don't have to read between the lines. Safety means love feels like home, not like a test you're afraid to fail. Listen to this. God is not removing love from your life, God is recalibrating it so it no longer hurts you. Recalibration can feel like loss at first because it removes what you've grown used to, even if it was draining you. Your heart needs this right now because you've been holding on out of familiarity, not alignment. Don't scroll. There is also grief here, and God wants you to know that grief does not mean you made the wrong choices. It means you cared deeply. It means you invested honestly. It means your heart was open in a world that often rewards indifference. Listen to this. God does not regret your capacity to love. God honors it. But God also wants to protect it. And protection sometimes looks like letting go of what cannot meet you where you are now. Your heart needs this right now because you've been afraid that letting go means failure. It doesn't. It means growth. Don't scroll. Growth often feels lonely because it separates you from old versions of yourself and from people who only knew how to relate to that version. That loneliness is temporary. Alignment is not. Listen to this. You are not being isolated, you are being repositioned. Repositioned for connections that don't require you to explain your worth. Repositioned for Apo.